So far, this has been okay, I think. It's just me being a doofus and not knowing where I was going. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I found it. I found it. I was completely in the wrong spot. It was 2509 that I'm going to. Completely on the other side of the room. Completely wrong. So, fortunately, and I would never have known that if Hilness wasn't right next to me, actually with the map. So without this map, I would have no idea what I was doing. Yeah, it's back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to check my calendar because I'm like, clearly I'm wrong, and I was wrong. It was 2509. So. Okay. So. Almost. I didn't realize it was that place. Maybe my stuff could get used more. I think we're on the right track. Is this?
Sabina, where's your cup?
Here's Monty Cook Games. Monty Cook Games. I'm actually going to be on a panel with Shanna Germain in about an hour. It is, Miranda. It definitely is fun. And Miranda, you missed an appearance of Not So Speed Runs. You missed an appearance of BB Wolf, formerly of the Arvocalis. You continue to miss an appearance of Hilness. Now you haven't missed it because now you've seen him. But yeah, all right. So 2509 has got to be somewhere here-ish. And I was told 2509. I know this for a fact. Yeah, congratulations, Miranda. That's right. Congratulations are due to the Master of Arvonaut Idol 3. All right. Okay. This is promising. Lord of the Rings, I found it. This is it.
And so it's really like, it's in early access now.
I found the place now. So we finally found it. Thank you for the map. All right. So now Hilness and I are going to be your intrepid roving reporters. Hilness is like, wait, what, me? I have cordoned him off. Detective Modern Crime board game. Yeah, exactly. You didn't realize this was all going to happen. There's Asmodee Digital and everything. Yeah. All right, so hang with me for just a second, chat.
So you're our back.
It's a video game. It's sort of, it feels a little Hearthstone-y to me, which I don't know what to think about that, but it's in early access, but I'm doing a demo with them. Is that a Princess Peach cosplay behind me? It might have been. Yes. That is a Princess Peach cosplay. Indeed it is. But see, I have to wait because I'm late. So I'm the bad guy.
Alright, so we want to squeeze in there
and see, these are other press guys who got ahead of me because I was late.
Oh, sorry.
No, I got lost, so it's my fault.
I got in yesterday.
Yeah.
Walked around till about noon. Went to the Westin.
Okay.
I think it was. I was sitting there, decided I wasn't going to drive up and down all week. Got on like the Hilton app, managed to get the last room at the Hampton.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that actually worked out. Oh my God.
Paid 150,000 points for it.
Wow. But that's fine because you have 8 quadrillion points.
I had 500,000.
Oh my God. You're like my father-in-law. It's like 7 million miles, like frequent traveler miles.
105,000 miles.
Oh my God.
And I spent 60 of it. I had 160, but I spent 60 on Admiral's Club Access.
That is
for the year.
That is a lot of miles. That is a lot of miles. Yeah, no, I know. Well, maybe what I'll be able to do is I might be able to sneak in and show some clips of this, even though I missed my slot, and I might be able to sneak in and chat with the developers about it. So we'll see, or at least the demoers, I should say. If you're lucky, you don't travel so much. Well, there's benefits though. There's compensations. Yeah, so my understanding of this, so this is all of Asmodee's digital stuff, including Scythe, which was actually new to me when I found out. I didn't know they were doing that. But but the Lord of the Rings card game is the one I'm interested in. And I talked to them before we all got started, and I had planned this thing to be able to do it. I'm like, this will be perfect. And then I got completely lost. So that's what happens.
There might be some over at the FLGC, and also have.
All right, let's see. That's so funny. It's so weird to see you actually being able to type in on the Twitch app while you're standing right next to me. What is that even?
Yes, we do. Making my way down the line.
And Fantasy Flight Interactive. And buttons. Sorry. I'm going to slide to the right while I get a chance. And maybe. Possibly? We'll see.
Here, I played the demo, please. Oh, you guys want to jump in? You have played the demo? Okay. You don't want to? Okay.
I've also played the demo, so.
You have? Wow. Okay.
These guys have all played the demo.
So you played it before you took it? A little bit.
At Origins.
All right, I'm going to listen in on these guys' convo.
Yeah, I got crushed.
That'll happen. Yeah. So this is actually different than the Origin one.
Okay.
Origins, we were showing a different quest. This is the first quest in the game.
Okay.
So this is going to be a little bit easier on you, so you might make it. It's exciting.
I only start with there. Oh, no, okay, there they are.
Yeah, so they're all loading in right
Okay.
now. But kind of trying to make this game clear.
So basically, it's adding, each one times adding, that's adding to my thread?
Yeah, it's
okay.
because your starting thread is going to be determined by your thread of your heroes.
Okay. I don't think this was in that.
Nope.
That's cool. All right, so I can mulligan just select cards.
So quick note, by the way, while we're watching this. So I love Lord of the Rings limited card game. I just couldn't stay with it because I couldn't keep buying to keep up with it and doing the quests. Plus setup is long. So this is of great interest to me. The question I had was, is it too Hearthstone-y? Is it oversimplified? Or is it definitely managing that feel? Because it feels like Hearthstone in its look, which may not be a good thing. I don't know. The question is how much of the story it really carries over.
Right.
That's at 35, 40, and 45, you get the whole thread of those.
Okay.
And it'd be special bonuses that someone gets. So if you click on 35, you see Spider's Descent, you're going to get a bunch of spiders showing up. It's not going to be a good time. You're going to get a flavor text with it too. 41 of your heroes gets poisoned, and eventually it's going to take one every round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then at 45, all your allies are defeated.
Oh, that's not great.
Those are exclusive.
Is that other one being used? You know that other one right now?
Side? No, you can take a look at that.
Oh, that's Scythe. Okay. No,
Side, and then over there was
I was interested in this one. I had a demo for 10:30 and I got completely lost.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got. It was my fault. It's my fault completely.
Here, I'm Tim with
Hi.
Interactive.
So do you? All right. Well, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm actually streaming on my channel because I actually do the Cubicle 7 official Twitch stream for the Lord of the Rings Adventures of Middle Earth.
Okay.
So I'm into this. So
awesome.
so can you tell us a little bit about? I'm going to try to get both of you and that in.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about this for people who don't know a whole lot about it, other than maybe having heard of the card game a little bit before.
So this game is inspired and adapted from the original tabletop game, which is mainly a cooperative game set in Middle-earth.
Okay.
It takes place within the years after Bilbo's 71st birthday party and the beginning of the Fellowship.
Okay.
You create a fellowship of 3 different heroes. You then create a deck of up to 30 cards, and you go through a series of quests. We're coming out in early access at the beginning of this month, August 28th, and the initial game will have one campaign consisting of 5 different quests.
Okay.
Each quest consists of between 3 and 7 locations.
Okay.
The game is adapted from the original tabletop, but it's not a one-for-one.
Okay.
We wanted to really explore the space between tabletop and digital and not just do a translation, but do something that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So the gameplay is mainly cooperative and single player. So the initial launch will be single player only. We'll be adding co-op pretty quickly within early access.
Okay.
And then we'll be adding other modes down the road. But just like the tabletop experience, it is designed more to be a solo or co-op experience.
This is why it's awesome, by the way. Yeah.
So you play against Sauron.
Okay.
Sauron is unlike the tabletop game where everything's very random. You have a random set of cards,
right?
And you play through them as whatever you shuffle.
Okay.
Here, Sauron is actually an AI. He has his own deck of cards. He's analyzing what you're doing, and then he'll try to play actively against you and try to shoot you.
Okay.
Just like the tabletop game, though, you have 50 threat that you're trying to prevent. You have a number of threat based on what heroes you take, and that can vary. Some heroes inspire more threat, and some inspire less threat.
And the more powerful heroes, right, are the ones that have the more threat?
Yes.
Okay.
And so essentially what that means is it's a race against time. The more powerful your heroes, the more Sauron's going to be focused on you and worried about threat and building up to that threat level.
Okay.
If they're lower powered characters, you have more time, but they're lower powered characters, so it might be more difficult to finish them.
I see.
Finish the quest.
Okay.
So, and it, like I said, it's based on the original. We kept a lot of the original mechanics. Attack works very similarly. We still have willpower. We got rid of the defense stat. We don't have armor as a stat anymore. Armor is now an attachment. We have attachments in this game where you can attach weapons, you can attach armor, you can attach specials, and you can either do combat or you can go do objectives to get yourself through the game. Every quest is set up a little bit differently. Some are a little more combat focused, some are a little more objective focused or story focused.
Right.
All of it's based on narrative, and we've introduced a couple of new mechanics. We have what are called threat events and fate events. So you have threat events. As threat is going up, you'll hit thresholds based on your starting threat.
Okay.
And when that happens, a narrative event will happen and something will happen bad to your group.
Okay.
We also have fate, where you can take your willpower and apply it towards fate, and you can build up your fate and then play fate cards, which are essentially special edition cards, which benefit your party.
Okay.
So that's a new area we really wanted to explore. The initial game will be mainly that single-player focused story.
Right.
But over time, like I said, we'll be adding co-op. We're also going to add other multiplayer modes. But everything is based and rooted within the original lore of Middle-earth, which is much more... We didn't want to do something like a PvP game where it's, one player is Sauron, the other player is Fellowship, and you're just trying to crush each other.
Right.
It's very much based and steeped within the lore of the original tabletop game, which is much more about fellowship and cooperation.
Right.
So eventually we will introduce PvP modes, but they're going to be much more, I would say, competitive than confrontational.
Okay.
So if you think of in the movies or the books, the Gimli and Legolas has this sort of rivalry to see who could do the best. So our PvP is going to be a lot more like that.
I see.
And less like me versus you, me chumping your guys.
And then I assume you're going to be having quests coming out regularly that will sort of supplement this. Are you going to try to match? I mean, I know the Pathfinder Adventures game, which is reminds me a little bit of this. You're taking something which is its own thing that's well established. You're moving it into the digital space, and obviously for those, they've only had the one set that ever came out. Which for those of us who would like to see other sets, Paizo. Obsidian gets a little frustrating. So, are you also? I mean, is the plan to be able to have a set of fairly close together? I don't mean on a monthly basis, but not just 10 years down the line. Maybe we'll get another quest.
Actually, we have a pretty aggressive plan to release content.
Okay.
We're planning on doing 3-month seasons.
Okay.
So essentially, you'll get 4 seasons a year.
Okay.
We'll release 1 new campaign during that season, 4 new heroes, and several new Valor cards, which are sort of one-up cards that you can just purchase independently with experience.
Okay.
Everything is based on an LCG format, so there's no random. You don't have to buy stacks of cards. And you only buy what you want. All the packs are here are the cards you get. I want that pack, or I don't want that pack.
Okay.
We have hero packs, which have a hero and 1 card from each of the different spheres of influence.
Okay.
Which are the same spheres of influence as the tabletop game. We have lore, tactics, leadership, and spirit.
Right.
So you can build the kind of decks you want. We also have something called Valor cards, which are independent cards. They are a separate thing that, as you play the game, you gain experience, and you can only purchase those cards using that experience, which is called Valor.
Neat.
You can also buy quests. Every campaign, the first quest is free, but then the other quests you can buy with either Valor or money, but you know what they are. It's like, okay, this is this quest.
Got a sense of pricing? Like what?
The hero packs and the quests are $1.99 each.
Okay.
So each quest is $1.99, each hero pack is $1.99. Then we will also be we're planning on doing season packs, so you can get everything if you don't want to want to buy them independently, you can just pay one and get all.
Okay. What about cross-platform?
At the moment, the game will be releasing on Mac and PC.
Okay.
On Steam. We're also looking to do mobile, probably mid next year.
Okay.
And then beyond that, we are looking at other platforms, but nothing to announce.
Like GOG, maybe?
nothing to announce just yet.
Okay, that's good. Not that I stream for them ever or anything like that. Okay, so so when you release it on, excuse me, these others, you do want to make it though cross-platform compatible, where people can like Android
the
can
idea
play
is you
against.
buy one. I mean, consoles are different because they have different rules.
Yeah.
If you ever do a
But I mean, like Android.
But in
like,
terms of Android and PC, the idea is to do, you get one account, that account stays with you. You create an asmodee.net account.
That's cool.
That stays with you. So if I buy it on PC and then I get it on, say, mobile, I'm not going to have to go back and rebuy it.
I don't have to rebuy it, okay. And then I guess the other thing would be, and are you able to play, when you do introduce these cooperative modes, will you be able to get someone playing on Android, someone playing on PC, someone playing on Mac, have it all work collectively?
I mean, that is the goal until we actually develop the mobile side. I mean, there's always technical restrictions, but that is the idea.
Mac is just sparkly magic. Like, you just press a button, it just works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's clearly what happens.
So that is what we are hoping for, but I don't want to make any promises until we've actually done it.
Okay. So early access right now, when theoretically is sort of the rough estimate of when you guys are planning to get out of early access? I mean, do you have any...
About 3 to 5 months.
3 to 5 months, okay.
We don't want to be in terribly long.
So definitely, presumably by 2019, you'd be pretty close to going... Okay. And then once it releases fully, then you start doing the whole, like...
We'll be adding
every month or whatever, like,
and other stuff. And, during early access, we'll actually be releasing 2 more campaigns and 12 new hero packs.
Okay.
So there will be quite a bit of content just during the early access phase.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Actually, I think I might just zoom in and take a look if I can do that.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That's very helpful. All right, so let's take a look, guys, at this.
Nope. I was feeling really good about it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's okay. All right. So this guy has got a couple of took care of a couple of spiders, I guess.
They're still there.
Oh, they're still there.
They're still there.
Did not take care of a couple of spiders, Chad. Not at all.
Not doing great.
Is he playing his smartphone too? No, he's another guy like me, except that he got here on time and I didn't. So, because I got lost. So, so he's trying to decide what he's going to play right now.
Gonna heal some Aragorn?
One thing I wanted to ask you, which I think they'll be able to hear as we're talking. A lot of people said that the feel was very Hearthstone-y, and I know that from some of the hardcore folks that didn't sit well with them. What's your feeling about that? For people who look at it and go, this feels a lot like it.
Well, I think in play, it's very different.
Okay.
I think superficially we use something called cameos, which artistically, I don't know if you're aware, a cameo is basically an old form of locket where you have an image. And we felt that was kind of cool within the lore of Middle Earth, that you would have these lockets with people's images in them.
Okay.
So superficially, because we use ovals and they use ovals, I think that's people are like, oh my god, it looks like Hearthstone. And although it doesn't play at all like Hearthstone, first of all, it is focused on single-player co-op. The way the cards interact is very different.
It's very different.
From Hearthstone.
Okay.
Because we have the threat factors, the fate, the threat. It is really very, very different. The strategies are very, very different. So I think there is a superficial similarity.
Okay.
And visually, I will take this superficial similarity because Hearthstone is a very popular game with computer gamers, but in terms of play, it plays very, very differently.
Okay.
We have attachments, we have powers that each of the individual cards can have.
Right.
So I think really beyond the visual similarity, it is, once you start actually playing it, you'll start getting the nuances and seeing the differences.
Have you gotten any particular feedback from the community as you've gone through this that you've been able to implement to some degree? Like,
quite a bit.
Is there like something that you're like, oh wow, that really helps? Like, is there something that stands out at all? Or like
Let me think about that, because we do Twitch streams twice a week where we show off the game, and we have really hardcore fans will get in and they'll give us feedback.
Yeah.
And then we've been watching our Steam channel.
I don't think we'd have thread events if it wasn't for fans.
Thread events, I think, were suggested by fans.
Yeah, so before it was that you were on this timer. Once you got up to 50 threat, then the game was over.
Right.
And it was fine, but it was just this over-encroaching thing where really there wasn't any impact it had on the game.
Okay.
So some fans had the idea, parallel to us in development, what if there were different events that happened based on different milestones?
higher threat that you get. Okay.
More milestones you hit. So like now, we've expanded on that. Originally we threw them in there. There was like 1 or 2 different threat events. And then now we've expanded them. They're unique to each quest. They have their own story beats based on what they do.
Okay.
They are like this whole thing that's been integrated mechanically, and it's just because we've gotten great feedback from the community.
Nice.
Well, also a lot of little UI things. For instance, initially we were only going to have, I think, 15 decks that you could build.
Okay.
And we didn't. There was no reason for that. It was just an arbitrary number we picked, and fans were like, "Oh my god, I got to have a lot more decks than that." So now we changed it to 64 decks.
Okay.
UI changes like, "Hey, could you guys add this number here or that number there to make it more visually interesting?"
Okay.
Or just because I don't understand what's going on there, could you add a piece for that?
Okay.
So those a lot of little nuances like that. But definitely there have been a lot of really cool ideas that have come from fans. Special individual card ideas. People said, "Hey, can you do a card like this or a card like that?" We've also incorporated those. So we do intend throughout early access to continue to listen to fans, see what they're saying, see what their thoughts are, and incorporate, because there's a lot of really good ideas out there.
Is there any? Has there been any pushback one way or the other about the worry about DLC pricing, microtransaction type of stuff, or
we
not?
don't really do. I mean, because we're selling packs,
Right.
we're not going to be selling. We're not going to sell like, oh, this individual card or this individual cosmetic. It's going to be essentially you buy these packs or you buy these quests. That is it.
Okay.
We will be selling cosmetic packs too, but that's an optional thing because you can get cosmetics for free through something called a Palantir, which is you get Palantir views as bonuses, which just hands it to you.
Okay.
So you can get those for free. I mean, everything in the game can be earned with Valor points.
Theoretically.
But we're not doing any kind of we're not going to do like, oh my god, I want 5 more slots, so we're going to sell you that. Or we're not going to do,
I've been playing Magic Arena.
hey, I want this type of card as opposed to that type of card.
Okay.
Here, pay me 99 cents. We're trying to avoid all of that and stick much closer to the LCG model, which is I can buy individual packs. That's the lowest granularity we go. And then we'll do the bundles where you can buy all of it, but that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much all there is. Okay. Wow.
So
That's neat. Let me check my time and just see. I don't know if I have someone's ahead of me or not. I have about 15 minutes, but I don't know. And Hilness, by the way, I don't mean to keep you standing here. I'm happy to have you stand here, but just letting you know. Sorry. All right. Okay. So yeah. So all right. So I've never played it at all. So take me through like how we go.
okay, so
I mean, let me rephrase. I have played the Live in a Card game quite a bit, but I have not played this. So
okay, so this is the beginning of the game. I have 3 heroes, but this is sort of my mulligan phase.
Okay.
I get to pick the types of cards I want. Mainly I'm looking at resource costs. You only get 3 resources a turn.
Okay.
So you have to be kind of careful. Some cards are more expensive. This is a pretty good hand layout. I don't really need 2 Galadon archers though, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that one out.
Okay.
And I'll just confirm. It'll give me another card. And now my quest begins.
Okay.
At the beginning of this particular quest, my goal is to resolve the hidden path to allow travel from this location. So here I'm just looking to travel.
And by the way, before you go on, is there a hover so you can see tooltip type of thing where you can see this lore?
Yeah, let me show.
Because I'm the kind of geek that I would want to read.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
There's narrative screens, and I skip through that to get to the gameplay. But there'll be narrative screens and narrative pop-ups, and yes, you can read through them. And so here it is. So anytime you want to go back and see what's going on, you can click on that. And then we do have pop-ups for like, what is this? I can just sit there and it'll tell me.
Okay.
Same thing with my cards. This is Gimli. So he has fates that he can do towards my fate meter. He also has every hero and ally can go on defense and guard, which is a special ability everybody has. So the way the game works is I get to do whatever I want. I can play a card. It's I go, you go. So I get to do one thing, and then Sauron gets to do one thing. My deck's over here. And let's see, so I have 3 resources. I'm going to go ahead and play a Galadon archer, so I'm just going to throw that out into the world. I'm going to target this guy. I want to kill one of his archers.
Oh, the minute he comes in, he can attack.
Yep, this particular card.
Oh, okay. Most of them have a kind of summoning sickness type of thing or whatever.
There is no summoning sickness.
Okay.
It can come in right away.
Okay.
But then he killed her. I would have been able to attack with her again, but this guy killed her.
Okay.
So then I have Gimli, I have Arwen, and I have Aragorn in my fellowship.
Okay.
Each of them has, this is attack, this is willpower, this is health, and this is how much threat they generate. So between the 3 of them, I have 30 threat.
Okay.
We're actually enhancing the UI right now. It's supposed to show me my current threat down here, but that's something we're adding. This is 50 at the top, and then I have these threat events. This is the first one, which is Spiders Descend, where several spiders will pop down and attack me.
Okay, yep.
This one is Poisoned. One of my party will be poisoned if I hit 40 threat. And Wave of Fear. So this will defeat every ally in play, so all my allies will go away. if I hit that threshold. So things happen as I'm moving along.
Are there ever any completely random events, like that you would not be able to see coming ahead of time, or no?
There are level-specific events that pop up. Those are things that once I get to a specific location, we call these locations. Once I get to those locations, there will be some that'll pop up. In the future, we really wanted to tie these to the narrative of each one of these locations, because we are telling a story here. So each of these are mainly tied to that. But we do want to introduce also other randomized events as well. So these are things I can save up for. I can gain two resources through Ranger's Cash. I can lose 4 threat with Shaft of Sunlight, and then I can get support from Dale if I save enough points.
That's neat. And you get the fate, and you get this by what? How do you gather?
So what I'll do is I spend resource willpower, and I spend it on fate. And then what'll happen is now I've spent it, it goes over to this meter, and my meter starts going up.
But you can only do that as opposed to attack, as opposed to...
Yep, that's I have to figure out what actions I want to do.
Got it, okay.
So I want to get, this is the one I want to get past, which is Hidden Path.
Okay.
But I want to get rid of this first, because right now we have Watchful Eyes, which at the end of the round, until resolved, this adds an additional threat. Every round you gain 1 threat, but because of this card I'll gain 2, so it's making it twice as fast to get to the end of the game.
Okay.
So I want to have her get rid of that. Gimli hasn't gone yet. So because someone's been wounded, Gimli has a power where his strength goes up by 1.
Okay.
And then he's going to go ahead and get rid of one of these guys. And now Aragorn's special power. Well, got to wait for Sauron. He played a Mirkwood Flock, which he gains a resource if this thing dies.
Okay.
But Aragorn has a power where he can cheat. I can spend a point of my resources, and he can go twice. So he's going to go ahead and kill that.
Like the book, Aragorn's pretty OP. All right.
And then I could play Gaining Strength. I will play Gaining Strength because... Oh, Sauron. Sauron played low on supplies, so I will gain 1 threat every time I play a card. But I don't care. I'm going to play this. It's a round shield. It's an attachment. I'm going to give it to Arwen. So what happens is Arwen now, up in here, she has a armor slot where she has a shield. She gains something called Block.
Okay.
Block essentially ignores 1 point of damage. We're in the next round, so she's going to go ahead and heal somebody. She's going to heal herself. That's her special power.
And the round determination is when you run out of cards, basically?
When you run out of actions.
So and you only have 3. Okay.
I have 3 resources, but as long as I can play a card or move with one of my characters, I can keep going.
Okay.
So same thing with Sauron, though. Let's see. So first thing I'm going to do is I really want to get rid of this. So I'm going to have Arwen get rid of that.
Yeah, gotta wait for Sauron is not a phrase you hear often. Yes, that's true, Classico.
He just played a really tough card. Actually, I'm going to play
he did.
Guard of the Citadel, which comes out with something called Guard. Now, Sauron won't be able to attack me until he clears that. So he went ahead and cleared that, but that cost him an action.
Okay.
And that also made Gimli tougher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this stupid thing.
Now, when you attack them, they hit back at the same level, right?
No, there's no reciprocal.
Oh, okay.
Only on guard. So creatures with guard up do reciprocal, but nobody else does.
Okay, wow. So when they took out that guard, he also took damage to him, presumably.
He did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That was helpful to me. Now, I don't want to spend any points because I got Gandalf. He's an expensive card, so I'm just going to end my phase. Because I want to have enough points to play Gandalf.
Okay.
We enter a new round. I gotta check my threat. I'm at 33. I'm getting close to the first event.
Oh, so you get more resources I get
3 every round,
and they overlap. I mean, they carry
stack.
over. So
yep.
Okay.
So that's part of the strategies you got to figure out. Like I want to play Gandalf. He costs 5. He's a very expensive card.
Right.
But he gives me options. He comes in fleeting, which means I only get to use him for 1 round.
Okay.
But he also gives me these.
Yep,
So
I remember that from the game.
I'm gonna deal 3 damage. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. But I'll kill that. He also gets to go. He can do 4 willpower, and I want to get rid of this thing. So he's going to go there. And then I'm going to have her do that. And then I'm going to have Gimli round it out. He's usually better at combat, but there's only 1 point on there, so I want to get rid of it.
Okay. Oh, and there you're using their willpower stat to deal with that as opposed to
my combat.
Okay.
Yep. And he played Greedy Fingers, which just took away her shield. But now I can travel. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and use my fate points to jack up my fate again.
Okay.
Sauron passes because he has no more resources and no more cards to play, so I'm going to travel. Gandalf goes away, and I go to the next location.
Okay.
And then here you'll get more narrative. So here's a lot of the story we'll play through.
Escape any other way. Oh, neat. So how many? Okay, so for one of these things, how many? This is one quest, right?
We're playing one quest currently.
How many? Do you generally have like 3, 4 areas, locations?
3 to 7.
3 to 7 locations in a quest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This one I forget how many. I think there's 5 in this particular quest.
Okay.
Okay, so we go to the next one. What happens is, unfortunately, one of my heroes was captured. So I have to resolve this cocoon to move forward.
Okay.
So the spiders capture one of my heroes, in this case Arwen. And
is that random? That's done at random?
It's done at random. And is in one of these 3 cocoons, which is at random. So I have to determine, I basically have to try to take these down. So I'm going to go ahead and try the center one. Unfortunately, without Arwen, who is my willpower monster, I'm going to have to use some resources to have Aragorn go twice. So there we go. Now, unfortunately, there was nothing in that. Oh no, that was Arwen. So I got Arwen back.
There we go.
So I got lucky, but they killed
Wow, how did that happen?
Aragorn got defeated because these are 3 7s, and he was down to 3 health. So they took him out.
Wow.
However, I can go ahead and travel.
Not canon, guys. Aragorn never made it through Mirkwood, just so you know.
Our heroes are never killed. They're only defeated.
Only defeated, right.
So now we have to choose. We can either confront the orcs. We found orcs in Mirkwood in this story. And we're like, what's going on? Why are there orcs? I can either go ahead and confront them, or I can go off the path and try to find a way around them. Since I lost Aragorn, I'm going to go ahead and go off the path and try to go around.
Okay. All right, thanks, Hilness. I appreciate it very much. Good seeing you, man. I'll catch you later. Okay. Now, is there? So he remains defeated. Okay. Is there a way to bring a defeated enemy hero back in?
There are cards that will bring back a defeated enemy. I don't happen to have any in this particular deck. The other thing is, when you go into the next quest, all your heroes come back at full.
Okay.
So, and this one's defeat all enemies in play. It's going to be tough because I'm down Aragorn. I still get 3 resources per turn. But I did play a threat event, which brought up more spiders, because my threat keeps going up.
That is a lot of spiders.
That is a lot of spiders. So it's just Gimli and Arwen.
All right.
But I do have a lot of resources now. So first thing I'm going to do is get some buddies out there to help me.
Okay.
And they went after him. I got to get rid of these guys, unfortunately. Now, normally Arwen isn't very good at fighting, but what she can do is she can get rid of the guard, which she will do now. And this guy, because he attacked, lost his guard. So I'm going to go ahead and try to start.
Oh, so guarded creatures, when they attack, lose guard.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So I'm going to try. I played Giant Spider.
Giant Spider. Well, you bring enough small spiders out, eventually there goes the neighborhood, right?
I'm going to play what's called a prep card, which is advanced warning. What this does is his next creature he plays will come out exhausted.
Okay. The equivalent of summoning sickness, basically, or what it would have been that way, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and throw some more friends out there. Try to stay alive. Oh boy, I'm going to gain 1 threat for each other.
Man. Well, there's only one. You've only got the one out there right now, right?
Yeah.
So.
I was just thinking of myself because I think I have.
So I'm going to get rid of guard again. I'm going to go ahead and play. Well, I'm out of resources. I'm out of cards. So all I can really do is end the phase.
He's got one more. I guess.
He's got more. He gets to keep going because he still has things he can do. He went ahead and passed.
Okay.
It's like, why am I going to spend money on a fancy new one that I can put a fancy microphone instead? Like, this was me.
And then we're in another upkeep round. I get 3 more resources. She can heal someone. She can try to keep herself alive. Sauron is banking his resources.
I agree, Marinda. This does not look good for the home team.
No, it doesn't. So let's see.
How would you, what sort of the difficulty level would you say on this opening? Did you make it a little bit easier, pitch it easier? Did you make it sort of average? Like it's an average level?
We have 3 levels of difficulty. You can do easy, medium, or hard.
What's this on?
This is on medium currently. And we're just playing with the
but the scenarios themselves, I assume, differ in terms of the overall difficulty level. So would you say this is a...
This one is it can be tricky. Once you start playing it and understanding it, you can start playing different strategies and start avoiding some of these threat events.
Okay.
I'm just sort of going through it randomly. So what I'm going to do, though, is because... Well, do I want to do that? I want to lose some threat. So I'm going to go ahead and have Arwen. She's going to go ahead and use her fate.
Wow.
So I can bring in...
Shaft of Sunlight.
I'm basically going to bring Shaft of Sunlight. That'll drop my threat down to 33. Give myself some breathing room. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put him on defense. So now he's on guard. So he's going to defend against these guys.
Are those guys both also on guard? Is that what I'm...
These guys are on guard. These 2, and he's on guard.
I like that. That's a good visual cue to be able to check that out.
And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and bring a Roman Lancer. I think he's passed. I don't know why he passed, but I'll take it.
Scripted. Just kidding. At the last second. Okay.
And now I'm out of stuff to do, so we go into a new round.
Okay.
Narrative-based, focused on telling these great stories in Middle-earth.
Let's see. I'm going to heal him since he's on guard. Now he retains his guard because nobody attacked him. And let's see. I'm going to feint somebody. I'm going to feint him. What this does, it reduces him to 0 attack for 1 round.
Okay.
Which will help immensely. He just played a
Tribulation.
treachery.
1 damage to every ally, huh?
Let's get some more buddies out there.
Hey, do you know that you have another Gandalf, for example, in this deck or something like that?
Well, yeah, I have 2 Gandalfs, I believe, in this deck.
Okay. So you still have... That's still maybe there.
Maybe.
At the last second, okay.
Okay, so this was the prep card. These came out and they're exhausted immediately. That prep card I played earlier. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy.
Is that for the rest of the combat? Like every time they brings them out, they're exhausted?
Just for the round.
Just for the round. Okay.
I got to kill this thing before it comes back. It is too powerful.
It's just such an important part of so much wanting to be able to tell those stories.
Oh, I can also bring, there's a Squirming Cocoon. I can try to bring this guy. I'm going to try bringing him in. There's a cocoon that's squirming. I want to get somebody out of it.
Now, when can you travel off of this? Because
on this particular one, anytime you can click up here and it'll tell you. This one is defeat all enemies
in play.
So it's going to be tough.
Oh my god.
This one is going to be tough. I'm just trying to wait him out at this point.
It would be a very Gandalf thing to do, show up the last second. Yes. That's, well...
It doesn't look good for the home team.
Yeah.
I'm going to have her...
You have Forest Fire, perhaps.
Oh, boy. We're pretty hurt.
It's about how magic brings people together, and it's about how magic...
Ladris. He grants 2 points of health, so I'm going to give that to Arwen.
Things are going... the method of it is things are going terribly.
Treacherous Fog.
Oh, now I have to lose a random card. I lost my Roaring Lancer.
The final battle, all those things.
Now,
those stories, like that's the method of storytelling.
I got to get rid of the guard so I can interact with this.
The feeling of like there is absolutely no way I'm going to win based on this state.
I'm going to free this. Inside the cocoon is...
The Eagles are coming!
Ooh, an Elven Scout. Nice.
We definitely need an Eagles card.
So, there is hope.
Speaking of stuff that's coming along the way,
We have
all this stuff planned for early access. We have 1 campaign coming, and we'll have this.
It's looking a lot more hopeful than it was about 2 minutes ago.
And I'll go ahead and feint him so he can't hurt me.
New heroes, new cards.
Creature of Darkness.
Oh, he's going to try to make it as tough as possible, though, that's for sure.
We have a lot of content that we can use as important.
Gandalf the Why isn't he here yet? Yeah. He arrives exactly when he means to, as you know, Kleskar.
Yeah, he's never... A wizard is never late.
Never late.
So I did that so I could do this. I'm going to go ahead and play this to gain 2 resources so I can play another card. I'm going to put self-preservation on Gimli.
Okay.
Every round he will gain a hit point or health point.
If they're winning, then I need to arrive.
This time he means to arrive and everybody else is dead. Well, we'll see if they can avoid that.
Let's see what happens. Gimli gets 2 back.
Another Umlogist caregiver. Hey.
That's all you have to do.
I'm going to play that because I like to be alive.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It's round-based rather than turn-based, so I'm going to take an action.
Okay, then the scout's going to kill this guy.
And you're able to customize these decks by moving stuff in and out of cards?
Yes.
Or do you, okay.
Yeah, you basically have a big card pool you can choose from. You can choose. You can change your heroes out. You can change your cards out.
Okay.
I'm going to give a warrior sword to Arwen, so she's at least a little better at attacking.
This is going to be Steam.
I got to kill those big guys. And really, the only thing a Lavdris can do is spend some fate points. I could have put him on defense. That probably would have been a better choice because that just got Arwen killed.
Me either on the internet or in real life, so we can tell my boss how much
Defense, which would have required them to attack him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, so many games like this and other digital games. I mean,
Ooh, it's looking very bad. Let's see if we can use Mithrander's advice to bring out Gandalf.
My advice, run like hell.
Let's see, how many cards do I got left? I have 8.
It's Gimli Versal. Well,
Gimli's tough, so we'll see. So, but he's poisoned now.
Can't believe he's poisoned.
But sneak attack and guard, that's good. Alright, so first, let's do guard to give myself some breathing room.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Good to defeat Sauron on the go.
Yes.
And then we'll do sneak attack. What this does is it draws a random ally from the entirety of all cards available. I'll give it stealth to Gimli. This particular character gives stealth to someone when they pop out. So
Okay.
I got a Sylvan Tracker.
Gimli hides, which is what I would have done at this moment.
Really wanted to make sure the game felt polished and lived up to fantasy. Releasing something.
Ooh, it's going to be right at the last.
It's early access, you know.
I think we're dead. He's going to attack Gimli, I bet. Yep. No.
So close.
Gandalf is late.
And evil reigned. Wow, that's pretty awesome though. It looks good. I feel like I was a little bit concerned about some of the early builds that I had seen, just in terms of like, but this feels a lot different to me. I think you guys have done a good job in refining it. How's the response been? And then I'll let you go deal with other people.
Sure,
but,
sure.
how's the response been?
Very good.
Yeah.
People who play it really enjoy it, and they see the nuances of what's going on with the game. There's a lot of deep strategy. Unfortunately, it's the demo build, so I can't really show you the deck builder, but there's a full deck builder that is pretty deep in and of itself. We also added something called loyalty, sphere loyalty, which is if you have more than one hero of the same sphere, you can unlock higher level cards to put into your deck. So if you have 2 spirit heroes, you can get a higher level spirit card.
Oh wow!
You can't play those cards unless you have 2 heroes. So there's some real depth and nuance into how decks are built.
Okay.
And initially there are 4 heroes that come in the core set. There are 4 additional heroes available in the initial early access, and then an additional 12 will release during early access.
Okay.
So by the time you're done, there'll be, 20 characters available?
Wow. And I assume the answer to this will be no, but just because I'm curious, will there ever be the option to trade heroes or cards with other people?
We've talked about it. I can't say right now what our thoughts are on that because we are still discussing. Really, right now, we're releasing into early access. We're starting this as sort of a long-term project.
Right.
We want people to come along with us. And depending on how things go, we want to weigh all options. So we're not saying no to anything yet, but we're not saying, for sure everything will appear.
Okay.
There's certain things we do want to do. Co-op is the very first thing we want to get in.
Right.
Once co-op's in, then we're going to look at we have 2 really cool PvP modes that we want to add that are, like I said, they're not confrontational, they're more competitive.
Right.
So I think those will be a lot of fun and sticking within lore. So
will you be following the general line of the release of the regular card game? Like, will we get Moria? Will we get sets like that over time?
We will be doing sets similar, but we're doing all new adventures, so they're not based on the tabletop adventures.
Okay.
The one thing we eventually will do is the full saga. We want to do the full saga play, which is the original Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
And then the Hobbit. We will get to that, but initially it's just sort of lots of different adventures in Middle Earth.
Okay. That's cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's nice meeting you.
And nice meeting you as well. Thanks
for
Twitch.
coming by.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this looks good. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. That was good. So good. I'm impressed, actually. I think they did pretty well with this. As I say, I was not wild about the early shots that I had seen, but I'm a lot more impressed now than I was. All right, that sounds good. I've got to I'm going to be letting you guys go in just a minute. I'm going to walk you over to the symposium rooms. And by the way, if anybody is here at Gen Con, live and in person, just a reminder that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. is the sequel to the adventure that I ran last year. I wrote a little bit of it while you folks were watching, and that is called Night at the Forbidden Library was last year. Today is Return to the Forbidden Library, or tomorrow I should say. And we will have 6 people. We will have Karen Bovenmeyer, we'll have Kelly Swales, we have Elizabeth Vaughn, we will have David Mack, we will have Aaron Rosenberg and Dylan Bertolo. So our crew of 6, the only ones missing from last year are Brian Feister and Ryan Shaples because they were not able to do this schedule-wise, but the other 6 will still be here, all authors of course, and I'm very excited about it. That eventually could be pretty cool. We have a decent turnout of people coming to see that as well, but if you have not already done so, grab yourself a ticket and get over to see it because it's exciting. Oh, what do we hear? Okay, that's awesome. Help me out, guys. Who's that dude? Who's the dude with the flame? Who's the dude with the flame? I have no idea, but like, some of these people I recognize, some of them I don't. Who's the guy with the flame? I don't. It looks cool. Is he some hero that I don't know? Is that Candleman? Atomic Man? I don't know. I would love to find out. All right. So here we go. Now we're going to walk past. We've always got to have the entire row of people getting massages. And I'm going to head over to the symposium rooms. It's a super cyan candle. Yeah, it could be. It could well be. All right, I am very happy also with how well my OnePlus 6 has handled this. First of all, it is not very hot. Wow. My phone used to get, my old Galaxy Note 4 got so hot when I streamed. This is not hot at all. Holy cow. And the battery drain was much less. And this time I brought my battery pack and the whole 9 yards, but I'm very pleased with how that ran. So it's great. So now I got panels you guys can see for yourself. I've got right now playing in someone else's sandbox, and then what makes a story fantasy, and then networking in the online age, and then story building in books and games, dungeon mastering for the writer, writing for the dungeon master. So I've got that going on, and then I got stuff going on tomorrow. But that's my schedule for today. Tonight we have the Writers Symposium party, which will be at the Rock Bottom Brewery here in Indianapolis. And normally that's on Saturday, but I think they only had time to get it for Friday this time. So I am excited about that. I got publisher stuff that I'm meeting with. I already met with one, and I got publisher stuff that's going on tomorrow and somewhat tonight as well. So that's going to be awesome, and I'll be able to announce about all of that, so we will see. Burning question, have you had the devs from Esper Genesis sign your book yet? You know what? I actually did not bring the Esper Genesis book, so no, but I need to make sure if when I find Kat Rambo and I'm on a panel with her, I think tomorrow, I need to make sure that she actually goes. Hey.
Jared.
Hey, what's up? Oh my God, what's up, dude?
You good?
I have not seen you in ages.
I know.
What's up, man?
29 years.
I know. How you been?
You know what? I signed up for one of your panels.
Which one?
I can't even remember. I've got like 3 tomorrow.
Oh my God.
But we were totally late. So Shauna's in the bathroom on crutches.
On crutches?
She sprained her ankle like Wednesday.
Oh. Oh, all right. Well, I'm actually headed over to the symposium now because I have a panel at 12, but that's cool. Good to see you. I have got...
the time management?
I'll tell you exactly what. No, that was yesterday.
That was the one I was going to.
Playing in someone else's sandbox is coming up at 12, yeah.
Okay.
Say hi to her for me, and I will see you when on the panel tomorrow or whatever. Okay, see you, man. That was... Man, I had so many people be like, Greg. No. I'm not keeping the people off stream. If I've got my phone up in front of me and they can see that I'm streaming, they know that I'm streaming, That's the deal. There's big signs about, that you're... I don't go out of my way. Obviously, if somebody doesn't want to be interviewed, I won't. But if someone comes up to me and they see my phone held up in front of me, then, that's the deal. I'm just another overcover agent. Yeah, I know, exactly. Anywho, so I'm going over here. And then I'm going to be taking a right and going up here. And like that. All right. Escalator. Here we do. Okay. So, but anyway, yeah, so symposium party tonight with publisher meetings. I hope to talk about that when I get back from Gen Con. I can't talk about it yet until I have more things resolved. But I'm very excited about potential directions. I think some of you watched my Twitter feed may have noticed there's a video of a prototype game that is being demoed here as well, based on a work of mine that some of you may be familiar with. And super excited about how good that is. It's been really fun. So, yeah, so a lot of cool stuff going on here. Very busy. I'm going to have a very long day today. And the rest of the weekend, but it's all good, right? So, I'll walk you guys over, and then I will bid you adieu, because it's 1:15, so that'll be good times. This is the Skywalk for those of you who didn't come on earlier. And yeah, this is Gen Con 51. So it's last year's was a big celebratory event, but I think it may be a little bit busier this year. I mean, I think they keep growing every year. So it's funny too, because I remember back in the day, just as a reminder, so it used to be the symposium way back, many years ago, was here. This room, and this room, 3 rooms. And that was it. And then they moved us around to the convention center right above the convention hall. We were there for a couple of years. We were in the Westin, I think, last year. And this year, we are in this hotel, but we're in a lot bigger area than we used to be. We have an entire section. Sounds good, Classcore. Prototype games can we see? Well, you can't see yet, actually, Marinda, other than the little clip I put on Twitter, because it is... we are demoing it to publishers right now. So we can't, publishers are understandably going to be like, what, this is our thing, we want to look at it. So we have to do that first, but believe me, trust me, there will be a whole hell of a lot of coverage of this when time goes on. Okay, and now we go down to where the symposium is, which is right on the end. There are thousands of people who come just for the symposium now every year, which makes me feel very proud because as you folks can see that right there? Writers Symposium, baby. Writers Symposium for life. So this is where I got my start, coming to a panel conducted by the Writers Symposium back in 2005, 13 years ago, which was also my first Gen Con. And ever since, I got on the panels like 2 years later, and that was that. So, all right. Here we are. I'm just going to show you the symposium hallway here. Room changes. And all the ones down there, including the coordinator for the symposium right there, Melanie Metters. And all right, so love you guys. I will catch you on Saturday. Everyone be there, be square for the D&D with authors. And I will see you guys later. I will see you all later. Bye for now, people.